Adventurer, my mistress demands your presence. You do still carry the encoded note you recovered in the bathhouse, I hope, for your sake. Of course! My mistress tells me everything. I am her prophet, after all. Now hurry! Lyranth and the Anchorite are waiting for you in the Bearer's Rest. It's an inn here in Fargrave. Oh, just a little something I like to refer to as the end of the mortal realm. You do remember the Waking Flame. You may have momentarily put a stop to their plans, but unless you get that note deciphered, their ultimate goal remains a mystery.
So you really came all this way to stop the Waking Flame from destroying Fargrave?
Something like that. Ah, there you are, little mortal. The encoded message you recovered from the bathhouse. That may be the key to determining the Waking Flame's next move and revealing the secrets I'm searching for. We must find someone who can decipher it. The masked mortal has the right idea. Fargrave sits on the threshold to everywhere. If there exists a being who can decipher this code, we will find them here. I'd prefer it if we could find someone other than Madam Whim to deal with, however. I have heard of the infamous Mazken who calls herself Madam Whim. I find her practice of turning gossip into profit to be loathsome. But even a filthy Daedrat has its uses, I suppose. Take the note to her and pay whatever it costs for a translation. Go to Madam Whim's establishment, the House of Whims. Show her the encoded note and tell her we need it deciphered. I will meet you there, to make sure we have her undivided attention, and that she understands this is more than a mortal's request. We know of each other. Perhaps our paths have crossed over the millennia, perhaps not. Whim has changed her name and appearance multiple times, or so I've heard. I have no doubt she will do so again, when Fargrave no longer amuses her. You saw what I saw when we first encountered Sister Seldina at the Waking Flame Conclave. Her infernal device can transform Daedra into incarnates, living disasters of immense power. They threaten Nirn, so you should hope I learn everything I can. We learned that Sister Seldina tried to use the votive runes to steal power from the mortals. Power she hoped would destroy the Daedra and allow her to conquer Fargrave. We stopped that plot, but this realm's many portals are too enticing to ignore. They are persistent, if nothing else, these Daganists. If they truly want to unleash their incarnates on Nirn, using Fargrave's portals makes the most sense. The hope, slender though it may be, is that the encoded note will tell us more.
Why, Lyranth, my dear, it would be an honor to assist you in any way I can.
An honor, yes. Mortals show Whim the note.
Oh, darling, how good of you to once again grace my fine establishment. And I see that my information proved useful. You found Lyranth. Another customer, satisfied and content. Now, what can Madam Whim do for you this time? While I have many, many talents, deciphering written codes concocted by fanatical mortals is not among them. Are you sure I can't interest you in something a little more luscious? No? Pity. Very well. I may know someone who can help you. You wound me. I thought we were becoming friends. Talk to Gazmod the Collector. His villa on the west side of town contains quite the accumulation of Dagonic paraphernalia. Something in his collection should help, provided you can catch his eye. You owe absolutely nothing, my darling. Lyrinth agreed to cover your cost for this bit of inside information. Isn't she a dear? Now, do tell Gazmod that we miss them here at the House of Whims. The place hasn't been the same without them. Oh, don't concern yourself with that, dearest one. I never ask for more than a client can afford. There's no profit in that. When you have time, come back and let Madam Whim show you some of the wares that have made her the talk of Oblivion.
Go downstairs and rouse the anchorite. We'll want her with us when we talk to this collector. Meanwhile, I need to conclude our business here.
Conclude our business? How I love the sound of that. It makes me all a twitter.
I'm not here to play games, Whim.
But games are some of my favorite activities, dear Lyrinth. Come, let me show you what the House of Whims has to offer.
Was Madam Whim helpful? Grab a drink and tell me all about it. I know I said I was going to help with the negotiations, but look, I don't want to talk about it. Some things are private, personal. You can't just walk up and demand I tell you my deepest, darkest secrets. Sorry. I agreed to talk about my name, my mask, everything. After you proved yourself, and you've certainly done that. When we first met, you asked about my name. Madam Whim gave it to me. I just arrived in Fargrave, and everything before that exact moment was gone. All I had was this mask. I didn't know who I was or where I came from. Still don't. Just one of Madam Whim's little jokes. Means I'm a recluse, a hermit, living a life of seclusion behind a mask I can't remove. Sometimes it feels like memories are stirring deep inside my mind. When that happens, I need a distraction. Because it feels like there's a war raging inside my skull. A war I can't win. Better to drink or whatever. Push them back down to stop the pain behind my eyes. That's my story. At least as much as I know. Now, tell me what Madam Whim said. I've heard of the Collector. Has a villa on the west side of the city. Never met them personally, but I assume they're some sort of Daedra. Makes sense considering their influence and where they live. I'll meet you there. I'll finish this and meet you at the Collector's villa. It's on the west side, in a neighborhood that's strictly Daedric. So be careful, and watch your step until I get there. Where else was I to go? I assumed I awoke in Fargrave for a reason. I stayed to find that reason. And to see if whoever left me here would one day return. Regardless, the city and its people quickly captured my heart. Especially the mortals. Another label assigned by Madam Whim. Stay in her orbit long enough and you'll collect a dozen appellations. I can't stand to see anyone go hungry or be taken advantage of. I tried to help and don't ask anything in return. Whim sees that as a weakness. Bits and pieces, but when the memories stir, the pain kicks in. If I try to focus on them, actually make sense of them, the mask burns? It hurts me, like it doesn't want me to remember. Someday, I'll look into those blank spaces, but not today.
Time to go, little mortals.
To the Collector's villa, as soon as I finish my drink.
Go. We will catch up. I want to hear more about the Anchorite's missing memories.
I've heard the Dagonists have been largely driven from the city.
Frey considers this development. The cult's votives no longer affect the mortals of Fargrave, then.
Yes, a relief to be sure.
Free ponders this with regret. The mortals were more interesting when the cult toyed with their emotions.
This mask, it intrigues. It must become a part of Gazmod's collection.
Friend? Why don't you talk to the Collector?
It approaches. It dares speak. Will it offer the mask to compensate for such insults? It invokes Madam Wynn. Wants what belongs to Gazmod, and Gazmod alone. It is presumptuous. Leave our gaze. Gazmod no longer wants to look upon it.
I meant no insult by having my mortal speak to you, Collector. We merely seek to borrow a Daganic codebreaker.
Since you're clearly interested, I'll allow you to examine my mask.
No. The Arox must not leave the gallery, but Gazmod will peer at its mask. This way, mask wearer.
Come, little mortal. We must find the Arox. Perhaps the gallery is beyond that door. The Collector let slip that they have a codebreaker called the Arox. We must find it. It appears not all of Gazmod's collection consists of relics.
It dares enter our collection. Does it not know we see through many eyes?
An arboretum? This collection is not at all what I imagined.
Collection is as dangerous as it is beautiful.
Perhaps the Daganic relics lie beyond that door. This gallery contains but a single display. See what it is, mortal.
I am Arox. Few things that walk the Deadlands can hear the name of Arox, the Mutilator, and not soil themselves. Sweet freedom at long last! Arox owes you for this kind indulgence. You have set Arox free. Free! Arox owes you a debt of honor, and Arox will pay it, no matter how long it takes. You have my word. But pray tell, who do I owe this enormous debt of gratitude to? Question not this pitiable form, mortal, for within it beats the heart of the terror of the Deadlands, the sunderer of the seven skies, and the warrior of the floating wastes. I am Aarox the Mutilator! And yes, I currently occupy this Daedrat body. Dagonate codes. Easy as ripping the ears off a banekin. Aarox is fluent in the many tongues of the Deadlands. No code can hide its meaning from the Mutilator's eyes. Speaking of eyes, we should leave this place before the Collector looks this way. I have already pledged to honor my debt to you. I will decipher every scroll in the Tower of Lord Dagon's Viscount Scrivener, if that is what you desire. I swear my fealty to you, mortal master. My life and my skills are yours to command. With pleasure, mortal master. Your pack is perfect, master. And I found the encoded note. I will work on translating it forthwith.
We have a Daedrat. Wonderful. Now let's find the anchorite and depart this place.
Hey, a little help here? That floating sack of eyes wants to make me a permanent part of their collection. Thanks. Let's get out of here and return to Madame Whim's.
Master! Aarox has deciphered the note. Daedric troops from Burning Gyre Keep in the Deadlands are preparing to invade Fargrave.
Well done, Rat. Mortal, find out what else the note contains.
That Daedrat talks?
Did you hear what I said, mortal master? Volcanos Nokvraz prepares to send the most fearsome Daedric troops in all the Deadlands to this Nexus city. The destruction will be glorious. It is addressed to some despicable cur named Sister Seldina. A weak-sounding mortal name if ever I heard one. Why one of Mehrunes Dagon's most powerful warlords, not as powerful as Aarox, mind you, would deign to aid a weak-named mortal baffles me. Yes, right. Troops stand ready at Burning Gyre Keep. Send word when Fargrave's defenses fall, and the invasion will begin. Dremora blades will take the city, not your incarnates. That is every word, mortal master, whose name is in no way weak. Let us make haste, master.
An excellent idea, Mortal. Use the Plaza of Portals to reach the Deadlands. We'll rendezvous at Burning Gyre Keep.
I've heard the Dagonists have been largely driven from the city.
Frey considers this development. The cult's votives no longer affect the mortals of Fargrave Land.
Off we go! What in oblivion was that?
Great power was just unleashed inside the keep. Hurry, mortals. We must see what's going on inside.
Was such a display really necessary, Serafina?
You required a demonstration of the power of an incarnate, Noctral.
You put too much faith in these abominations, Serafina.
With the Riven Cataclysm, Fargrave will fall. And then, Nern.
They chased you out of Fargrave once. How many more failures must you endure, Serafina?
Careful, Noctral. Or perhaps I'll point my
this
incarnate
is a
in
fight
your
now.
direction.
A blade-bearer weapon. Here, examine it, mortal. It is the blade-bearer's crest. This is not their fortress. Why would that broken sword be here?
I sense intruders in the keep.
Lyrinth and her minions. Incarnate, destroy them!
I've summoned a pool of energy! Go into it! I've summoned a pool of energy! Go into it! Now, mortal! Go to one of my energy pools! of my energy pool!
That one put up a fight, didn't they?
The Incarnate failed, Seldina. You failed. Again!
You see failure, I see opportunity. Let's head to the Riven Cataclysm. I have a legion of incarnates to create.
We should leave too. Quickly, mortals, into the portal.
A glorious victory! Arox the Mutilator must scratch furiously to celebrate!
Sister Seldina. Twice now, you helped me stop her from harming Fargrave and its people. Thanks for that. I'm not sure why Lyrinth chose us, or what she really cares about in all this. But as long as the cult threatens my city, I'll stand by you. Yeah, I heard. I may not remember who I am, or where I came from. But I found a purpose in Fargrave. That's what keeps me going. Protecting the city and its people. I won't rest until we stop Sister Seldina and the Order of the Waking Flame.
We stopped Seldina's ritual and forced her to retreat to Burning Gyre Keep. There, instead of allowing her to summon Nokroz's promised army, we defeated her incarnate. Now she's on the run, back to her Riven Cataclysm. That device intrigues me. And do not forget that Nirn is her ultimate target, little mortal. She plans to use Fargrave to sacrifice your realm to Dagon. But Seldina figured out a way to change the very nature of a Daedra. Truly change it. That bears further investigation. A question I must ponder. There are few places I can think of to hide such a device. None of them pleasant. And there are the Blade Bearers to consider. Why was their sword in the keep? For now, take this as a reward. That is the mortal custom, yes? Are you ready to resume our hunt for the Riven Cataclysm, little mortal? I assumed you'd want time to sample Madame Wim's delights, or explore the splendors of Fargrave. No? Very well. Let us go before more incarnates are unleashed upon the city. You are not wrong in your summation, but we are not without avenues to explore. Remember the broken sword hilt you found at Burning Gyre Keep? It carries the mark of the Blade Bearers clan. The Blade Bearers are a Dromora clan who forged their own path. They have no allegiance to Mehrunes Dagon, so I find it curious that their crest was found on a broken sword in the keep. I want to determine their involvement. With your aid, of course. The Blade Bearers are nomads, but we should find them at a settlement called Wretched Spire. That's in the Sever region of the Deadlands. We must talk to their kinreeve, Rincaius. I will meet you there. And bring Arox. We may have a use for him. Rincaius is a kinreeve of the Blade Bearers, a clan of nomadic Dromora who bow to no prince. Like the rest of his clan, he is fierce but values honor. He takes pride in his martial skills and the status of his kin. Mortals hold no interest for him. The Deadlands belong to Mehrunes Dagon, but places exist where his minions rarely go. Wretched Spire stands as a refuge of sorts. A settlement where Dromora without clans and escaped mortal slaves can eke out a meager existence, hence the name. As I said, the Blade Bearers are nomads who do not pledge allegiance to Dagon. As such, they roost in places that aren't under the prince's direct control. Wretched Spire is one such location. Rincaius' clan can usually be found there this cycle. Friends? Hardly. That is a mortal concept. If I understand the idea, it implies affection, vulnerability. That you would attribute such an affiliation to Dromora is amusing. But I have known Rincaius for a long time. We have never been at odds. He might be able to explain how his blade bearers came to be at Burning Gyre Keep. If Rinkaius knows more about the Waking Flame's activity in the Deadlands than we do, perhaps he can tell us where Sister Saldina and her device are hiding. Then either Rinkaius knows about the involvement of his kin, or he does not. If he knows, then he is an enemy, and we may learn something by questioning him. If he does not know, then he is a potential ally, and a powerful one.